that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Same way with people like Freeman, you know what I mean? Or, all the other people, they're out there doing it and they're making videos. Like I believe that if you're making videos and you're putting the time and the effort, because I know how much time and effort it costs for you to edit a video, and my edits suck. So some of these guys that are spending hours and hours, or even paying somebody else to edit their videos, like there's some guys out here that are paying somebody else to even edit their videos, so that's costing them money by paying someone else. Or if you're doing it by yourself, that's a lot of time and money. So I believe you should be paid for that. I like 100%. I believe you should be paid for that. And if you're you have to entertain people too. You know what I mean? Like we're not a bunch of stiffs. It, people aren't a bunch of stiffs that are watching these videos, right? So you got to have some kind of entertainment. So it, people aren't going to watch your videos if they aren't entertained, right? And you want more people to watch your videos for the simple fact that the more people that watch your videos, the more it gets put in the algorithm, and then the more people it gets out to. But it's also the more ad revenue you make because you monetize the video, right? But it all goes hand in hand, man. It's the American way, man, is to make money. You're putting out a product, make money. But don't. I guess my whole point to all that is don't blow smoke up my ass and tell me that you don't care about the money, but you turn your monetization on every video. So you
Oh, well,
obviously care some way, somehow, whether it be this much, or you need the money, or you care about the money, or you wouldn't be monetized at all. You tell AdSense to go get fucked, right? Go get fucked. I'm gonna make these videos out because I only want to put these videos out to people. I just want the people to see them. I don't care about getting your AdSense. No, most people that are monetized care about the money because they use that money to what? To put food on their plate, or to, like you said, fund the activism that you're doing. So you care about the money because you need the money to fund the activism that you're doing, right?
right, right. No, absolutely. Like and again, it's not. I guess I'm saying caring about the money because again, if I was money driven, I wouldn't be auditing, right? I would be
Right.
working my regular job.
Well, if I was money
So,
driven, I'd be a fucking doctor. I wouldn't be a tow truck driver, but here I am.
right, exactly. So, right, no, so
But I got to make money too, though.
right, yeah, exactly. I can't, go around and do all this stuff on hopes and dreams, right? Um, so it's a trade off. It really is. Um, and to me, even though I'm making less money, I'm still spending more time at the house with the family, which to me is the best trade off of all, right? I could be
Win-win,
working,
right? Well,
right,
it's not really a win-win because now you're doing something that you can be arrested for at any given
well,
time. So it's kind of not a win-win, but I mean, I guess spending time with the family is a win-win. Yeah.
right. And I mean, let's be real. I hardly get arrested. I've been doing it 6 years. I was arrested 4 times. I think I've spent a total of like 6 days in jail in 6 years. So, while I've been on probation and that's been, hard, I haven't been away from my family for, you know what I mean? It's not like they put me in jail for a year or something. So, but, uh, you know, when I'm auditing, it's something that I love to do. Right. And I like learning the law and I like, everything to do with it. I like, to see new places and see new people. I like exposing, a lot of these fools for the fools they are. Um, so to me, and somebody said, well, what if you weren't monetized? And I told them, I said, well, then I would just only be able to do my local area, right? Because that's all the time and money that I would be able to afford to do. Um, so I would only do my local area, but it would still be done, and it's going to be done until the day I die, right? And hopefully, my kids will grow up and when they see something shady in government, they'll say, "Hey, let me ask questions about that, right? Because really that's all it is. We just need people to think and ask questions. Because once they do, the story falls apart, right? Like anytime you go and you question the government about something that's particularly shady, I mean, you like corner them. You see it in their eyes. They're like a trapped cat, you know? Um, and then that's when you start to realize, hey, there's more to this than, what's been being told. And a lot of times people only come to those realizations when it's something that personally affects them, right? That's when people get their aha moment. Like James Freeman was saying earlier, that the people, the government, and the people that believe in it need to be mocked, and we do mock them, and it's fun, but you know those people sometimes have an aha moment when the back to blue until it happens to you happens to them, and then they say, oh, well, I thought that if something illegal happened to me or something wrong happened to me, I could go to the system and the system would protect me. And then they see that that's not the case. And then the next thing you notice, they're tuning into James Freeman, or they're turning into me, or Ordinary County, or whoever, right? Because our base of people that are wronged by the government grows daily, and not by one or two people, by hundreds of people across the United States daily. Our base grows because that's how many people the government is screwing over on a daily basis, whether it be with CPS, whether it be with code enforcement, whether it be with the police, the sheriffs, um, you know, anything, everything, literally everything.
God, I wish Rogue wouldn't have brought that up, and I wish Ed wouldn't have said that in the chat, because now you got me. Now you got Toe hooked in, line sinker on the rant. I forgot one person on my douchebag list, and that's auditing Erie County. My spidey sense believes he's a fucking douchebag. I think he's a douchebag, and I have no cause for him. But I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. Whatever, be out there doing your thing, but I just don't watch you and I don't fucks with you. So there you go. Sorry, I had to say that.
No, that's fine. And
Yeah,
and James,
and it
and,
doesn't bother me because I know you're friends with him, right? And that doesn't change the way I feel about you. Like, you're my dude. Same way with Rice Crispy. Like, Rice Crispy's my dude, and I know he's friends with whatever his name is, douchebag Erie County, but not me. Like, I could care less about him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck him.
right, right, and
You
that's the
know?
way. Well, that's the way I approach all my friendships. Because somebody said, well, this guy, he screwed somebody over. A couple of years ago, this guy screwed somebody over, and this is why I've known this guy for years. He's never screwed me over. He's never done me wrong. He's never lied to me. And here's the thing about that is that if we look back in everybody's past, someone somewhere along the way is going to swear that you screwed them over. Could be an ex, could be a family member, could be anybody. It could be a total lie too. Could be just them remembering something in the wrong light, you know. But I don't go by what people have had in their past relationships. I work with people on a person to person basis, because again, everybody sees things differently. Everybody's got different beliefs, so.
Right. But like I said, man, I believe my spidey sense, man, and my spidey sense says that he's a douchebag. So in my mind, he's a douchebag.
Well,
And
and he might be,
look,
and he
look,
might, and he might be to you. You know what I
right,
mean? Like he might actually be that way to you, but he's not that way to me. You know
a
what I
lot of
mean? Just like my wife will tell you, dude. That my wife will tell you that I'm an asshole to a lot of people, and to me, I don't even see it.
yeah.
But she'll say, dude, you were kind of passive aggressive. You were kind of an asshole, and I was like, I didn't see that at all. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm gonna answer Pink Taco because he said a lot of big talk coming from a dude who gets waxed. Yes, I get waxed, and I get waxed because I got my grift on, and I make money by getting waxed because I need money. So this is my time to grift. Mods, would you like to put my Cash App, my PayPal, and my Venmo in the chat? Because Toe for Life is gonna grift, and I don't know. Maybe next week I'll wax some more hair off my body if you lovely people want to pay me some money to do it. But that's how I roll. Thank you. Sorry, Rogue. I just had to throw that in there.
No,
I
you're fine.
got a grift. Hey, look, man, look. Everybody's like, oh, that person's such a bad person because he's grifted. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a grifter. Fuck it. If people like to watch my videos and like to watch my live streams and want to send me a couple dollars, throw me a couple dollars. I'm grifting, I guess. Don't know what that word means, but I guess that's what I'm doing.
No,
Right.
you got a grift for Baby J.
Yeah, I mean, I got a daughter to take care of. Yeah. Use my daughter as my grift. No, I can't do that. I just wax myself. What's up, Dennison? As a matter of fact, we've been talking and all that, and you're just sitting back quiet. Are you there? Dennison? Yeah.
Am I here?
Yeah, I got you. There you are. Welcome.
I had my audio turned off.
You gonna come and try to sidetrack me?
No? What's going on?
I'm just
What's on track?
messing with you.
How does one stay on the track?
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
I'll
on
do
track is that anything that I want to talk about, we talk about. And if I don't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it. You know why? Because I'm a communist on my panel. So you fucking
What does that even mean?
you listen to what I say and we do what I do on my panel, and that's the way it's gonna be.
Keep your mouth shut when you're talking to us.
Oh shit, I thought someone popped up on the panel. Maybe not. I thought I heard the beat. Did y'all hear a beat?
I heard a beat.
Needs a dollar. Toad needs a dollar. Toad. Hell yeah, I need a dollar. Send me a dollar. Shit. Send me a dollar. Send me $2, man. I appreciate every dollar. Send me 50 cents. Oh shit.
You sound so stupid
Oh no.
talking like that. Like that's not your thing, bro.
What?
No, that's AJOT's thing, and it's $5 to make you high.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't even say that. Oh, saying that you communist and blah blah blah. It just doesn't come right coming out your mouth. Now, if Dennison said something like that, that would be like perfect
What?
coming out of his mouth.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I thought she was talking about me talking about grifting. I was about to be like,
Oh
what are you
no,
talking
I
about?
wasn't talking about the grifting.
I grift all the time, man. What are you talking about?
Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Okay, bye.
She came up here just to shit on me, for real.
I think so.
It looked like
Whatever,
it.
AJ.
It's I mean, it's just her.
I
StreamYard.
wasn't shitting on you. I was wiping your face clean.
Oh wow. Thanks, mommy.
I didn't know what else to say.
Who was that? That's AJOT. That's AJOT, Jane Freeman, AJOT, which is my woman, my baby mama, and all that. Yeah. Who's got AJOT? Show your face. That's what
I am not
Freeman
showing
said.
my face. Go watch a video. Find my
She said-
channel.
She said, find her channel. Go watch a video. Mods, put her channel link in the chat.
I do a Naughty Corner Tuesday show every night. You can just go click on the last live. You'll see my face. I'm cammed up the whole time.
That's true.
It's not even that naughty though.
Look,
Oh my God. I don't like
Well,
you, James.
we all know
Sherman.
we all know what Rogue looks like. Nikki won't cam up, and Dennison surely won't cam up. So
What does it matter if I have a face? I have a voice. That's all that matters.
No, and I have reasons for not camming up. I've got my grandkids living right next door, and with
What?
certain people that I was involved with at one time, I did not trust them. So, no.
Tuesday show every night. Yes.
Yeah,
I know. I said it.
I only go on stream when I'm on my OnlyFans foot fetish page.
Oh
So-
my God, Lord,
Dude, these
Lord help
YouTube streets, these YouTube streets ain't paying well, so I had to start an OnlyFans feet page. Dude, my feet are beautiful. People love them.
I think James is demanding we show our ID.
I think so. Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
James, am I free to go?
If
I'm
so,
free to go,
then
I'm
that
free
means
to
you're gonna.
stay.
Yep.
If I'm free to go, I'm free to stay. Fuckers. Dennison, did you toggle your channel onto my channel? Did you do
Yes.
that? Okay. I keep seeing the links and it doesn't tell me at the top, but I just figured it was you. Oh no, I guess it does if I click on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
'cause
Listen,
now we're getting people in here that's not normally in here.
yeah.
Yeah, Havoc. Bait and switch, Havoc.
YouTube changed, or not YouTube, but StreamYard's changed a lot, in the last couple months. Like, they changed a whole bunch of shit in there. He just needs to see your faces so he knows who you are. Nice. Well, I've been cammed up the whole time, and that's not always. I get in my mood. Sometimes I'll be on camera, sometimes I won't. And for your report.
And yeah.
Speaking of which, entertainment like that right there, the report, the clipboard with the fucking pencil, and the camera
Dude,
and the cameraman, like that is fucking pure entertainment, dude. Like,
I was borderline jealous I didn't come up with that first. That was so good.
yeah, that's fucking
And
entertainment.
then he's like, "You want to call my boss? His name's Bao."
Yeah, Buddy Bao.
Oh,
Buddy Bao. His boss is Buddy Bao. Buddy Bao told him to go there. That shit's funny as hell. That's great. And it's and he's fucking with him at the same time. Like he's like I don't know how, not putting them in their place.
it sounds like them.
Yeah. Showing them how stupid they sound, because they
Yeah.
say the same stupid shit. Like, you got a safe in here? How many safes are in this building? How much money goes through them safes every week or every night? Who has a key to them safes? I'm like, oh my God, dude.
It's wonderful. If you ask him about the security system in the safes, you get more questions than if you ask him about filing a complaint or a Freedom of Information Act request.
This shit is great. Entertaining. I love it. But I think in this, I don't know if that's, I mean, I can't say nothing because I know the views are down. The views are down. Like, you can look at everybody's channel and look at the views, and like everybody's views are down right now. So I don't know if that's if that's just not entertaining no more, or what happened with the views, you know what I mean? Or is it not YouTube not pushing the algorithm?
It's the
'Cause you
rise
think
of
the same-
TikTok, I think.
I
think
think
so?
it also has to do with the fact that it's summertime and people have better things to do than sit on their ass for 5 hours a night just staring at the computer or their phone or whatever. They're actually, on vacation.
Yeah. You know what, though? She's right, because think about it. Most of the people started around the C times. You know what I mean? The C19 times.
Oh, you can say it. I'm not monetized. I don't give a shit. You can say COVID-19.
Yeah, everybody's like, a lot of people got their start around COVID-19 is when they blew up, because everybody was on YouTube, right? No one was working. Everybody was stuck at home. And so if that was your heyday, you may never return to that former glory because you can't beat a pandemic, right? For clicks and views.
Yeah. And I mean, I even said it. I even said it last week. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to go into that. Just forget why I even said that. I was thinking about something and it doesn't even match up to what we're talking about. So just
Oh, no,
don't
no,
mind
Toe.
me.
Now,
Oh,
please,
no,
please tell us how you feel.
I'm not going to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't feel like getting into the rant again because then I just went off out here in the space and, with the Libras and the Scorpios and the Tauruses, all that fucking jazz. That could be it right there. I mean, James might be on it right there. It also became saturated with boring as fuck creators. And
Yeah.
that's true.
And there aren't really that many stakes anymore, right? Like now it's either the cops back down or they arrest you and break the law. It's like,
And it's more of a back down. And then
yeah.
they don't even, and then they don't even interact with you once you, and then you start calling them names and this and that and this and that, and then they just shut down and drive away or whatever, whatever. They don't even, yeah. It hasn't. I haven't seen no real good videos, like entertaining videos, other than the clipboard shit. And there's been a few. I would have to think, like really seriously think, but there's been a few that's been that's entertaining to me, but not as many as used to. Like you said, there's just a lot of dumb shit going on right now. Not entertaining, you know what I mean? Like I need to be entertained too. And I get the whole point of well, this person, they're transparent, they're fighting for transparency and accountability. Yeah, but I mean, how much has Flex Freeman perfectly but flex your freedoms, but how much has he been putting out lately? Flex ain't really been doing a lot lately. I mean,
Was that grandma?
Yeah, grandma.
Flex is undercover
Yeah,
right now looking for Ming Ling.
Yeah, Flex is funny as hell, but he only comes around once every 18 months.
There was someone else.
Or YouTube just won't show me his shit, maybe.
Honestly, I think Michigan Constitutional Crusader's fucking funny. I think he's hilarious as hell. I think the window shopping dude and the shit that he says to people, man, is just fucking hilarious. I mean, that's entertaining to me. A lot of people don't like that window shopping shit, that, they shouldn't be messing with people in private business and people in the public and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, that's just like anybody else that's just walking down the street. Just because they stop and they film inside the store and they look creepy as hell. I mean, there's people walking down the street all the time with their cameras up, doing selfies and all that, not caring who's driving by, who's walking by. So what's the difference than Michigan Constitution? Because he's a bigger white dude, older white dude walking down the street with a big camera rig. That's the difference. And that's a big thing too. So like the camera rig shit, that shit triggers people. Like you ever watch Pepperoni Audits? I know Rogue Nation has watched Pepperoni Audits, but he triggers the shit out of people just because he takes that big ass camera like this. Like he got a big ass shoulder camera, like the news stations and shit. And he'd be walking around filming, man, and be triggering the shit out of people.
Well, and that's that's what I don't understand is people, when you're walking down the street in a business district or hell, even in a neighborhood, do you realize how many cameras are pointed on you? But it's because they're little. They're not noticeable that people don't really say anything. But when you get, like you said, that big old news camera and stuff, then people get triggered by that. They're not thinking, I mean, hell, even walking into Walmart now, they've got the big old monitor right there that says you may be under video surveillance. And people don't get freaked out about that.
Only the people trying to steal.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, but I don't know. So
That's
go ahead.
because, people love the government. So, like, uh, James was saying in the comments earlier about people believing in the government and they love their government. They have that belief that, the camera that the government has is not going to be used maliciously, or, the security guard is not going to take that and, do whatever with it, or, just things like that. And that's why they don't care about those cameras. I just had a video I put out from somebody. I don't remember what video it was, but there was a lady there, and she said something, and he's like, well, there's, cameras up there, and she's like, well, that's, the government's cameras. I don't care about that. I care about your camera. I mean, just right out said it. These people don't care that the government's recording them. They love it. They eat it up. Record me more, daddy. You know, um, and but when we come in there, that all of a sudden they're suspicious. Well, what are you going to do with the recording? What are you going to do with the film? Well, why don't you ask the government that? Why do you trust them so much that, even though they've been caught time and time and time and time, and I could go on for the next hour saying time, how many times these fuckers have been caught doing underhanded, illegal, immoral, reprehensible shit. You know what I mean? You don't even know me. Why would you just jump to the conclusion that a fellow American is videotaping you for some malicious purpose? But the government is all, just doing it to protect you, right? Because you're such a lovely little flower, and the government just loves to protect us, right? They live to protect us. They put all these cameras, they got all these cops, aka security guards, just out there to protect you. Just call them up one time, and you'll see what kind of protection you get. But they love it, man. They eat that shit up, dude.
You see that? You see that? What's on what Jason's whack said? The problem is belief speak, like how Indians believe that dancing would bring the rain. The problem is believing what you do will change what they do.
Right. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with beliefs, but that's an intense topic, right? What people believe, and and they cling to it, and that's what the whole public school system's set up for, which is why we've always homeschooled, because I wasn't going to put my kids through the indoctrination factory to where all they're doing is pumping you full of beliefs, that the government's there for you. It's a government for us, by us. They love us. They would never hurt us. You know, you should listen to authority. Whenever you have a question, go find someone in authority. Who's the authority? The government's the authority, So, um, yeah, I mean, that's why these people love the government today. That's why I'm not as mad at folks as James is, right? Because stupid people don't realize that they're stupid, right? As a matter of fact, when you ask them, they'll tell you that they're extremely intelligent, right? They'll tell you how intelligent they are. They went to school. They might have even gone to college, because that makes you smarter, right? So they'll tell you all about it, and but it's not. It's just it's a farce, and they can't see it because ego, right? No one wants to say I was fooled.
It's
They.
easier to convince someone of a lie than it is that they were lied to.
That's right. That's why, because the way our mind works. Have you ever heard of the backfire effect?
Like the Streisand effect?
No, it's specifically called the backfire effect.
I don't think
So
so.
so basically, what happens is in our brain, neurons fire, right, during certain events. So when we have a deeply held belief and somebody challenges our belief, like let's say you're, a hardcore religious person, and somebody challenges your beliefs, the brain, it fires off a signal, a fight or flight signal. And when people challenge someone's beliefs, the brain interprets it as an attack, almost like if you had smacked a person. That's what it feels like in the brain when their beliefs are challenged, which is why, when you're in a bar and you're talking with somebody you just met, and you guys have, guys or gals, you have different beliefs, it heats up really quickly, right? um because that's the way the brain interprets it. And when that happens, people shut off. So the way the brain works is it filters information to keep our minds clear and not clogged up, right? Because there's so much information that the brain takes in, I mean, every second. And you can test this yourself by, um, if you close your eyes, as soon as you open your eyes, within a nanosecond, everything you see, your brain is already labeled. You know what it is. You know what it does. You know what the color is. You know what the smell is, right? Your brain is a supercomputer. And what happened is with any computer, it needs programmed. And the government realized that, and it started public school, and it programmed all of our supercomputers on what I like to call the quote unquote freedom program, right? And that is, the Constitution sets us free, the government is for us, by us, we would never hurt you because you are us, and that kind of mentality. And then so when people like us, when we become adults, we get what I call a glitch in the program, right? In the programming. And at different times people get different glitches. For me, it was 9/11. For other people, it might have been Waco, or it might have been the Freeman incident of Ruby Ridge. All different, triggers that set people off. Maybe it was JFK assassination, whatever it was. But at some point, we realized that the story that the government is giving us is not jiving with the reality that we're seeing firsthand. And at that point, we begin to deviate from the freedom program until you get to deviations like most of us, right? To where we question almost everything the government says because we know they can't be trusted, right? And what's amazing to me, and you can test this to yourself, is when you find these bootlickers or government, you know, uh, lovers, you ask them if the government lies. And you'll see that 100% of the time, they will tell you that the government lies. However, if you ask them if the government lied about the Constitution, about, anything of importance, and they'll tell you no. You know, did the government lie about public school educating our children? No, not at all. The public school educates our children. Absolutely. I went to public school, right? I'm educated. I read the Constitution once back in senior high school, and I know all about the First Amendment, right? The First Amendment allows the right to free press if you have a printing press, right? And you might laugh at me saying that, but people recently have told me that that's what the First Amendment right to free press meant, right? They also told me that the right to free press meant the right to not have the government censor what you write. But none of them None of them on the bootlicker side have ever told me that the right to free press was the right to watch our government. Not a single one of them. How did they all get the answer wrong? Because the government programmed the wrong answer through 12 years and they beat it into your head for 12 years. Just like if you go and you grab a history book from your local high school today, you'll see that today that they're beating into the kid's head that we're a democracy. And you won't find the word republic in that book. Nowhere. Okay, rant over.
Oh, all right.
Doesn't it? It seems to me that like we're just in a constant battle against the stupid and the psychopathic. We create all these institutions and systems, governments, different social structures. But it's really just the people who want everything. And the
Well,
people who are too dumb or too scared to not follow them. And then the mutants who just want to be left alone.
yeah, I mean, there should be a way for us to opt out of society, right? Like, I get it. The mass of people are stupid, right? And they don't like to think because thinking's hard, right? I'd rather just go to work, come home, grab a beer, watch Dancing with the Stars, right? That's what I'd like to do. Rather, I don't want to think, I don't want to learn, I don't want to expand. So, that's what a lot of people need, right? They need governance, they need somebody to tell them what's right and what's wrong. But not everybody needs that, right? I don't need that. I don't think anybody on panel or anybody in chat needs that. So there should be a way to opt out. But unfortunately, these people are greedy. They want it all. And it's not about the money. They don't care about the money. Those Federal Reserve notes that people scrounge around for and try to hide under their mattress, man, they don't care about that. That's just toilet paper. And people will find out in the future, not far off, that the Federal Reserve notes are just pretty much toilet paper. So it's not that; it's the power, right? That's what they crave. That's what they want. So we're never gonna be free, right? Unfortunately, people are never gonna be free. It's not gonna be allowed. Um, so we got to be just as free as we can be, and while they're doing this magic show of freedom, they have to have certain things in order to keep the magic show from falling apart, right? Part of that is the Bill of Rights, Second Amendment, First Amendment, all that other stuff. And so while they have to keep that magic show going, I'm going to use that to help expose them to more people, right? Because there'll be an epic struggle sometime in the future. Who knows when? It could be a bio event. It could be numerous.
What makes you think that?
Well, for one thing, a lot of the elite are always and have been for many, many years about eugenics. They've been talking about population reduction, depopulation agenda, Gates, Ted Turner. The Georgia Guildstones was actually carved with the optimum world population. And it kind of makes sense, right? You can't forever expand when you have finite resources. science can only take you so far. So at some point there has to be a zero sum game there, right? Because exponential growth gets out of hand very quickly. So um, the issue is though is that these guys are lunatics, right? Um, and so there's no telling, what could be the catalyst. It could be, something in the Middle East. It could be. I mean, we're so close on so many different levels to a geopolitical event. Take the petrodollar, right? If oil was to go to a different standard than the petrodollar, we would see inflation here in the United States like rocket overnight. That $2 loaf of bread would cost you $20, right? So um, there's just a lot of stuff out there that could trigger this, and this is what they want, right? Because what they want is they want less people on the planet using up the resources because those are their resources, right? These people don't think of this as our resources. Look at the CEO of Nestle saying that water wasn't a human right just a few years ago. That's not a gaffe. That's exactly how these people think, right? We
Yeah.
we are. Imagine that you are a farmer, and you as a farmer or a rancher, excuse me, whatever they call them, but you have 300 million head of cattle. 300 million head of cattle. Do you care about one? Do you care about 10,000? How about a million? I mean, you have 300 million. What's 1 million? It's nothing,
Yeah,
right?
especially if it kept costing me and was pain in my ass.
Yeah, and what
I
if
might just
you
write off that million.
Right, right. And now what if you've only got the resources to take care of 200 million? Right? Now there's an issue, right? So, eventually there will be some kind of event. And again, we've seen this time and time throughout history. Um, and who knows what it'll be, but at that moment, I think will be the only time that we might be able to take back some kind of semi balance of control from these people, and they've been in charge for hundreds of years, these families. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. You could trace the DNA back. It's not hard. So um yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and until then we got to do what we got to do because they're holding all the cards, right? I mean, people could say this or that, oh yeah, I got an M16 and yada yada yada, and don't get Waco'd, right? Because that's what'll happen. These guys will come in, they'll stormtrooper your house, and then you'll be on the evening news, and the majority of people, the bootlickers, they'll be applauding your demise, right? They'll be like, oh yeah, the government got those domestic terrorists, like Randy Weaver and his when they shot his son, they shot his wife. Oh yeah, they got that terrorist son of a bitch. What was he selling, a sawed-off shotgun? The nerve, you know.
Well,
So
would you agree though? It's gonna get a lot worse before that cycle restarts. Like we're kind of right now. Most people are comfortable, and at least half the population thinks the government's great.
yeah, I mean, of course it's going to get worse because I mean they're just printing more money. Uh, I'm sure you guys know they were just talking about cutting interest rates coming up here in September, um, and adding more liquidity. Printing trillions of dollars here, trillions of dollars there.
Yeah, I
So I
made
mean,
$1,000 in a day because of that.
yeah, yeah. It's just it's out of control. And once you realize that it was never meant to be in control, then it all makes sense, right? You, otherwise, you're looking at it and you're saying, why did we just hand a crackhead the American Express black card, right? Because that's what we did. The American government is a crackhead, and we just handed them, a black card and said, yeah, just spend it up. We're all paying for it. That's we're all constituting members. When you're a member of a society, and unfortunately, we're all members of society because we live here and the government has the force, but we're called constituting members. And what the word constituting means, it means that we're on the hook for the debt. That's what constituting, the word constituting means. We're on the hook for the debt, not the government, us. So we basically hand them this credit card. They can spend however much they want. And then if you look back through history of our finances, and again, you have to look at the debt, the yearly debt, not the debt to GDP ratio, because they fudged the GDP numbers. But if you look at the debt, from the beginning of the country in the 1600s when we first landed here, all the way up until today, what you'll notice is that we hardly borrowed any money, we hardly had any debt, all the way up until the early 1900s. The Revolutionary War was a little squibble on the line, but it really picked up in the early 1900s, right around the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank. But it really took off in 1971 when Nixon closed the gold window and the dollar became 100% fiat currency. And then from there, you can see an incredible spike all the way up. And it's never gone down. We've never paid off uh, any debt. Say Bill Clinton had some kind of a surplus, but he didn't. In his best year, he still borrowed $18 billion. All he did was an accounting trick, really, when you look at the exact numbers. And it gets worse under every president. It doesn't matter if it's a D under his name or an R under his name. It gets worse, and it's going to get worse. That's the way exponential growth works. That's what a hockey stick graph is, right? It doesn't come back down. We have to borrow more money every year to pay the interest back and to keep the party going, right? Because if the party stops, then it all comes crashing down. And we have to pay the interest or else we can't borrow more money to keep the party going. So, yeah, at some point, the chair is going to get pulled. So, like I said, that's just one thing. And, you got the petrodollar, you've got geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and in other places, Hong Kong, that could set off a spark that could, wipe out a third of the world's population in some kind of a war. So, but that's exactly what they want. They want to thin the herd. We're just useless eaters to them. We're cow eating up some grass that they could use to plant vegetables. So yeah, eventually they'll figure out a way to get rid of a good portion of us.
The last 10 years has me agreeing with the eugenicists in a lot of ways.
Well, let me hold off for a minute. I gotta go say goodnight to my kids, and then I'll come back on with you guys.
I'm about to cut it, man. My shoulder is killing me, man. And the more I sit up here, the more it starts hurting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for having me up, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Rogue. We'll see you, man.
Rogue, always good to talk to you, sir. Thank you.
See you later, Rogue.
Of course, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. What you got, Dennison? Or, well, Nikki, what you got? Because Dennison's got his channel. I'll let him go last.
Yeah, I just, thank everybody for tuning in and supporting Toe and Dennison over on his channel. And everybody, have a good night and maybe think about what we all just heard from Rogue Nation. He made some good points. Everybody else have a great night.
And where are you at? You're on digital, Dennison.
This station is at Dennison-X. That's where we do Discussions, not debate, about ideas, not people.
All right. Well, there you guys go. Put some of my odds. Put that in the chat. You guys go subscribe to Digital Dennison. I've been knowing him for a minute out here on these YouTube streets. He's a good dude. And you got any last thoughts for your people and my people, Dennison?
I just want to reiterate what Nikki said. Thanks to Rogue. To some of us, it might sound, like preaching to the choir or reading from the Bible, but these are basic things that most people don't understand, and he has a lifetime of research in that area. And yes, please, if you're into these topics, sub to my channel because that's what it's all about.
Right on. All right.
Thanks, Toad.
Yep, not a problem. Thanks, Dennison. Thanks for coming up and helping me out.
Tell AJ I said good night.
I will. I'm sure
Peace.
she's listening. Later. All right, y'all. Let me pop the camera back on my face. This pretty mug. Yeah, there we go. My Steelers hat, right? All right, y'all, man. Thanks for coming in. That was a pretty interesting panel. I mean, good people, good talks up there. Rogue Nation always appreciated for Rogue to come on panel. Dennison, Nikki, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming up on panel and not leaving me up there just talking shit by myself. Thank you for everybody in the chats, everybody that from Digital Dennison side, everybody on my side that's not sub to Digital Dennison. If you like the things that they were talking about, Dennison delves more into that kind of deep shit than I do. Go over, sub to Digital Dennison. Like I said, I've known him for a long time out here on these YouTube streets. He's a good guy, and he's really got a good head on his shoulders. So go check him out. He has some good panels and some good talks. But anyways, to all the douchebags that I was talking about earlier, fuck you. And to everybody else, I love you guys. Thanks for coming. We're probably going to move Friday night rants to Saturday night shenanigans because it's better for my schedule, like Ajot said earlier. So Friday night rants may have went out the window, and now we're on to Saturday shenanigans. And I'll be your host, Hope for Life. Ajot's my co-host, and I'm about to get out of this bitch. Toodles.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing